I'm Tammi and I was thinking about doing a short tutorial on how to become the Terminator. First off, I have one piece of rubber mask. This is cut off from a full head mask from Greyland Films in the Czech Republic. I'm gonna put links so you can, find them later. This costs about $50 US dollars. So, of course, it depends on where you live. I have applied a thin layer of latex around the edges, see from the other side, to make it smooth and even. And also used to be a hole in the eyepiece here, which I replaced by a small plastic lens, which I painted red on the inside. I will now glue this section onto my face, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to put the camera on pause. Yeah, now the glue has dried, and I have taken some latex and mixed it with a substance that actually makes it thicker and more, well, easier to work with. So I'm gonna apply this richly around the edges, like so. Take plenty of it. It's gonna look like torn skin, so you have to use a lot of it. Well, I'm gonna finish up and then I'll show you again. Now, as you can see, I have applied a thick layer of latex around the edges, and a bit of a warning sign. If you're at all sensitive to latex, please stay away from it. This is very strong. It contains some ammoniac and other really dangerous chemicals. So fortunately for me, I'm not sensitive at all. But there are other kinds of latex which you can buy, which costs a lot more, but is on the other hand meant for the skin. This is not meant for skin use, but of course it's a lot cheaper. So now I've applied a thick layer, and I'm gonna have to wait about 20-25 minutes for it to dry. And then once it's dried, I'm going to come back and paint it to look like, bloody. I'm going to paint some fresh blood and some dried blood. So I'm going to use two different kinds of blood. Well, now the latex is all dried. And as you can see, this whole piece is very flexible. I'm able to pretty much move my face as I want. Of course, when you get an itch in your eye, then you're in trouble. So now it's time to paint the edges with fake blood. So I'll be right back. I'm back. Now I have applied one type of dark red color around the edges, and in a few minutes, when this is beginning to dry, I will apply another type of red that is really dark, and it will resemble dried blood on the outer edges. And as you can see, it's beginning to look kind of grim, which is my point. Well, now I have applied a lot of paint, mostly dark red, painted with, I mixed it with a lot of black to make it look like old dried blood. Now this type of paint will become very dull, and as you all know, blood will have a more shiny surface to it, so I'm gonna put some lacquer on it. Some, of course, everything I use is paints that are mixed for airbrushes. They are very thin and water-based, so it's not dangerous for your skin. And now I'm gonna put some lacquer on there and then start putting on makeup. Now I have applied some glossy lacquer around the edges, and as you can see, the edges are now pretty shiny, just like wet blood would be. So now I'm gonna use a sponge. It looks like this, and then I'm gonna apply some really dark makeup that looks, I have 4 different kinds here, and the top one is what I called, well, it's brown reddish. It looks a lot like old dried blood, and if you get a wound like this, even if you're human, you will get some discoloration around the edges, such as this, and that discoloration will be due to the fact that you're injured, bruising and such. Yeah, gonna finish up, then you'll see the results. Well, now I've finished. And normally, of course, I would be using some kind of makeup on the rest of my face, some foundation, some powder, etc. But I won't really do that today. I have applied dark red with the sponge around the edges, and as well as some kind of yellow mustard color for that dead skin appearance. And let's see if I can move the camera. There you see the edges. And of course this rubber mask is reusable, so the next time I put it on, I'm gonna have to paint the edges so that the paint will, you know, reach my skin a little bit. But the next time. Now this is what the finished result looks like in a room with less lights than in my bathroom, and so you can see it looks, yeah, a lot more realistic when you don't have a xenon light in your face. You can see a close-up here. The blood really appears to be wet since I used the lacquer on it, and yeah.